Hello, here we go again with the traditional game between Fred and Tuno played on IGS on 2 handicap and reverse Komi 5.5 this time. White won by 17.5, but both black and white tried to play the early Sansan invasions in Fuseki, so that's quite interesting to see, especially being a handicap game. Usually in a handicap game, it's more interesting for white to start with moves on 3-4 or 3-5 or 5-4. So the josekis involved are usually a bit more complicated than the Hoshi ones, but well, it's a matter of choice in the end. It works fine to play a Hoshi or a Sansan in the beginning as well. It's just that things are a little bit simpler for black attacking a stone like Q4. So white decides to play the first early Sansan invasion in this game. It doesn't matter which side the black blocks, it will be pretty much the same thing in this case. So black goes for a very simple follow-up Nobi, then extends in the top. Now usually here when white pushes one more time on the third line, black is supposed to play one Hane in the head of 3 stones. So this exchange is center for black, and black can decide later whether he wants to continue with a Hane in the corner or a double Hane or a combination of Hane in the corner and then double Hane on the side, or simply Nobi. But all these options can wait. So right now, after playing the exchange of 1-2 in center, black can extend in the top, and it's okay to extend right in the middle, or simply play away. Either attack the corner from one side or the other, or play his own Sansan invasion, which actually will happen in the game. So playing J17 looks a little bit too narrow because it's much closer to the wall than to the top right corner, and also allows white to step to the fourth line. So white can Hane here right away and either Nobi to build the fourth line or double Hane. Double Hane it's an option too. Black usually extends and white connects. So this way white starts to build more on the left side. And if black tries to resist, for example, Atari and then play another Atari or extend, white is happy to build more like this on the left side. And if black simply extends to save the stone on the left side, now there's a problem, because in the top white can use the Hane on the second line, which removes black's liberties. So if black blocks here, white can use the Atari and capture 3 stones. So this will be an early disaster for white. Now if we go back a little bit to black's Nobi at d15, here white can also play just Kema on the second line to secure the corner, and then black can either extend in the top as he did in the game around j17. I still prefer an extension at k16 to be somewhat in the middle between the wall and the top right corner stone, but black can also ignore completely. I mean, the 3 stones in the top are very resilient, so if black plays, for example, O17 or any kind of tenuki, even when white approaches the top, black can still handle the position with the 3 stones. For example, black can play a Kosumitsuke and then Hane in the corner. Now if white blocks, black can also separate, and when white goes for the top, black actually trades. So now black separates the 2 stones on the left side. If white comes out, black can put pressure here. If white extends for a base on the left, black will separate in the top like this, and well, make shape or pincer. So black can fight even without extending right away from the 3 stones. So both black and white have these kind of options when playing the early Sansan invasion, but in the actual game, black just decided to extend in the top. So white plays another early Sansan invasion, which makes sense, but it's good to remember the Hane in the head of 3 stones. Also on the right side, it's good enough to play r14 and then extend back. But okay, Sansan invasion, it's not a bad move, especially nowadays when everybody does it. The top AIs, the pros, so it's super trendy. Black goes Nobi again, Black can think about hane and double hane. So the most common variation is Atari, capture one Ponuki on the right side and give up the two stones in the top. Then white can push along or simply play away, maybe another Sansan invasion. Another option for black is to play Keima right away, R14. Now when white pushes, it just reverts to the same kind of follow-up like when playing Nobi, then Han and block. And again, black can decide whether to Han again in the corner or just leave the position like this. Play on the left side in center, then invade the lower right corner. This is absolutely fine too. So back to the original game. White plays Keima this time, so black is center. Black extends in the top again, but having those two stones on the third line feels a little bit flat, and black looks like it's going to build less. If black wants to extend in the top, this time should play on the fourth line, so alternate a little bit the third line with the fourth line and try to build more. That's a good move actually to reinforce the top side, but black can also consider the Kosumitsuki on the right side to see how white reacts. White can block, extend or hane, and then if hane happens, black will just block. If white connects, black can hane on the left side once and then extend or jump. So this way black is hoping for a bigger moyo in the top, not just a tiny extension to secure the third line. So once again we can see black style being very conservative and very territory oriented, which is not bad in general, but if you play too concerned about the small areas, then you lose the big picture from sight and in the end just fall behind and lose the game. So gotta be a little more active as well. White invades the Sansan. No wonder. It's an experimental Sansan game, I think. So go out, black extends again, game on the second line. This seems to be like the easiest pattern, both for bots and human players. And black invades the Sansan too. Yeah, that's a good decision actually. So black can leave the 3 stones on the left side, as it happened here. The extension can wait. Nice decision for white to block at Q3 here. And probably in this case, white can also consider the double hane. Because if black is taking the Ponuki in the direction of S14, it's not so interesting for black to develop that area. But for white to go for the bottom side, it's quite nice. So this is an option. But also fine to play the Nobi. And one hane. We see both black and white in this game miss the hane in the head of 3 stones in this case, like it happened in the top left corner. So one hane here, and then let's say, well, hane in the top is still very big, but let's just say white plays a move like G3 to reinforce the bottom left corner and also expand the bottom moyo while putting some pressure on the 3 stones on the left side. So again, black has the opportunity to play one hane in the top left and then consider a way to defend his 3 stones, probably an extension at C9. So back to the game, white extends to the middle of the side. Well, this extension can be played also after the exchange on the right. So one hane in center and then extend to the middle. And usually here, oftentimes we see black just playing Atari and descent. And this is a way to refute all other follow-ups for white in that corner. Because if nothing happens, so let's say black extends on the left side, white can decide to go R2 and then play double hane or inside cut. Now when the inside cut is played, black has 2 options. One is to capture the stone, then accept another Atari from the outside, and here either capture and keep center, or play a cut to create some agi in the center. Then instead of capturing the stone on the side, black can capture the other stone to create agi on the bottom too. Now here white can defend strong with a tiger mouth or a 1 space jump, and there is still agi in the center because black can move out from Q6 to P6 and then hope to attack the r7 group later on. So that's an option with the inside cut, but black can also capture at q2, then accept the squeeze play, in which case white will get strong on the right side, but black will damage the bottom area. So now black enters on the bottom to damage the moyo, but white gets the moyo on the right side, because now the bottom disappeared. All these variations are possible, but it's important for white to play the hane first. Yeah, so here hane block, and then decide later whether hane, inside cut, or double hane. If double hane happens, now black will play Atari q2 first, and then cut and capture the stone on the right side. This is one of the basic patterns with the double hane. If black goes for the cut and capture right away on the right, white is very happy to catch the stones in the corner. So this way black is actually punished. Alright, back to the original game. So white extends k3 and black extends on the left side. Black can still play the hane in the top corner, and then hane q6 and get ahead on the right side. And this way black starts building a lot on the right, but later on it's also easier to reduce the bottom moyo. Now playing a move like c9, it's probably Tuno style. First of all, it helps the 3 stones, so it's not bad for the left side. White extends c12, but it's not really the biggest move on the board right now. I mean, if white plays on the right side and then just extends like k6 to expand the box, even if black goes again on the left side at c12, he's not going to expand the left area so much. So overall, this should be okay for white to accept the extension at c12. But well, it's a nice looking point, I guess. Even though the right side is more open and more interesting to fight for, because the left side, when you count the intersections between black stone and white stone, we have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. So that area, it's not as large as the space on the right side. So it's obvious that the right side is the most open side to fight for at this stage. And also it's important to reduce the black moyo in the top for white. Black answered, making the box very polite and solid. So white is center. Finally, the hane in the head of 3 stones. It's coming at move 29, not earlier as it was supposed to be. And white simply steps ahead. Now, well, white can consider r2 and double hane and so on, as we've seen in the previous variations. But playing no beat is also an option. The thing is, black can push again in center, very good. And now black can think about some moves to reduce the bottom side. For example, a cap move like k5. This is a good way to reduce the moyo. Also, black can play Kosumitsuke here to keep white low, press white down, and then the cap move, because the cap move can connect easily to the stones on the left. Now, if white still wants to keep the territory on the bottom side, black will just make a very light formation, and black is also building in the center while keeping the white area, the white bottom area very low, or well, limited. So this was actually a pretty deciding moment of the game. So when black plays j15, black thinks it's enough to reinforce the top side and build that area, but white can also build a lot on the bottom. Now white is trying to reduce the left and then grow the bottom side, but the proper way would be to just play a 2-space jump and create a box here. Moyos are oftentimes good to be built in a box shape. Also, for white to play a move like this, it's very dangerous because black can separate next. So black can play a 1-space jump or Kosumi and then Keima. Black should find ways with fighting spirit to separate f6 from k3. Kema like this, it's an option too. But black decided to keep his left side. And now white can simply connect with the Kema. And in that case, the exchange in the middle was a positive play by white. Somewhat an overplay that was unpunished. White is trying the same thing in the top, but again, black can just separate. Actually, for white to grow from the corner to the center, white can think about this schema. And that's also a move that reduces or limits the top moyo expand too much towards the center. Like this, black can play Kosumi, threatening to kill the stones on the right, so white has to Nobi, and then Keima like this, and this will separate the stone in the middle from the group on the side. And this shows fighting spirit, especially with all that thickness in the top. Now this kind of jump can be only Ikki and Tobi, because if black tries to separate, in the end black will just capture one stone, so there's a lot of effort for black to take one stone, and again white kinda got away unpunished. So this is actually the place where white managed to build a lot in the center and the bottom area, and without losing much. Here black should get ahead, so at least capture 014 on a larger scale. It's natural to simply push between your opponent's stones like that. If white cuts here, it's not a problem. Black can still play the Kosumitsuke or Hane to separate and go down. Kosumitsuke I would play one time, and then the diagonal move in the center to get inside white's moyo. And again, some cap to reduce the bottom side. This was too kind, just connect. White can push first and then jump. Now playing the jump right away, black can use the wedge. This will create two cutting points, so white usually Atari like this, connect and connect on the outside. And this way 014 dies naturally inside the top, and black created some agi, so black can play a Hane here, a double Hane, then extend, leave the position like this, and try to reduce the bottom, which is quite urgent. Otherwise, it's too good for white to play a move like k6. So Hane here and go down. Actually, for black, it's not so interesting to play moves around q12, r12, because white already has a stone at s14, so in the end, black is not going to build much. This is too small also. Black can still play the wedge. And this way, if black just plays another move in the top, black doesn't need to play a move inside at 015. 014 will die, and 015 is black's territory. So black can enclose this area in a very effective way. So playing Atari here is just more submissive. And now white is trying to enclose the bottom. Actually, on the bottom side, I still prefer a jump like this, or a move that connects f6 in a way. Playing this kind of jump leaves a gap here, so white can jump between the stones. But maybe in this case, white will just sacrifice one guy and keep the biggest part of the moyo. So like this, white encloses everything here. And that's probably enough to win the game. So one space jump, finally black is trying to separate. Yeah, and black can give up one stone just to keep everything connected. This can be dangerous, a little bit deep. Yeah, nice move for white to surround the invasion. Black has to find a better way to come inside, and in a way to be connected to, or to be able to connect to his stones on the outside. For example, a shoulder hit like this. Now if white pushes, black can jump, and it's difficult for white to catch the keystones. And if white attacks blocks like this with a cap move, black will just push down and separate to gain something in the middle left area. Also, if white tries a cap from the center, black can easily come out and try to connect to his stones on the left at e9. So here, black played a bit too risky, too deep inside the moyo. Nice for white to go for a large scale kill like this. Yeah, the peep doesn't threaten much because white is strong, so white can play with fighting spirit, for example this kind of cap. And when black cuts, white can protect the bottom, and black is still floating into the center without ice. I guess this move is kind of similar idea. So peep, but that seems like a minus. Here I should think about the Hane. Atari connect, Atari here go out, connect and cover. Now if black cuts, white can capture a stone in a net, and if black comes out, white can protect with a hanging connection. Well, black has some eye shape in the center, but probably still not enough. And another way here is to play the counter Atari. If black connects, white captures, and if black captures, white can cut with Atari from behind, and this will be a ko, but a pretty spectacular one. So when black pushes here, white can just take again and seal the middle. Well, Nobi. No more cuts. Actually here, white can cut one time and then Hane. And if black tries to escape, white will Atari, connect and connect. So playing the cut at k10 is just bait to be able to surround the center. But of course, black can struggle more with some tsuke. Might be a little difficult to kill. But even so, white can profit a lot attacking severe. Like this, black will probably escape. Yeah, it's impossible to surround anymore now. If white plays the Hane and black Hane also, white will cut, Atari once, white has to go out, black can threaten to capture the two stones in the middle, white needs to protect, and black will just escape in the center and catch the two mark stones faster. So this is a good way for white to, for black to escape. Therefore, white has to retreat and stop the severe attack here. Well, now that stone is no longer important. So white can play a jump, give up that guy, connect solid, and black will probably extend again to stay safe and connect it. But white still build a lot in this area. The descended center, then just play endgame. This Hana I still like. And this time Hana in the top and connect. So if something like this happens, black has the top area, the biggest territory, not so much on the left, not so much on the right. Actually the left is something like 15 points, the right is about 10, and the top is maybe 25 to 30 points on a quick glance. But white got this bottom area, which is super big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 35, 40, over 40 points, plus 10 here, 50, plus more than 10 on the left, 15, that's 65, another 10 in the top right. So white's got like 75 points, 30, 55. Yeah, it looks like white is roughly 20 points ahead. So it's a comfortable game for white from here on. If nothing dies and everything stays safe. Good shape to protect the middle. Here, white can pull back and connect the three stones. If black cuts, white will Atari, push along, connect under. When black plays here, push again, or push one more. This way, oh, another way is to play the peep, and when black Atari, save the three stones. And then if black cuts, white can connect. And if black tries to push, white connects. White is fine actually. Like this, black can capture three stones, which he did. So black managed to escape, but without much damage. Big catch in the center. So actually here, black can only play something like Nobi, because this Atari is also center for white. Yeah, playing here, black can connect, then white saves, black will push one time, white connect, black connects. And that's pretty much it. Not so much damage in the end. So white got a lot of territory, capturing the two stones in the middle on a large scale. Taking that stone, it's actually small like that. Black should play Kosumi, so if white pushes, Hane, push, capture. Like that, white can still peep and jump into the top. In fact, the peep is better. And leave it like this, keep center. Okay, that was center too. The Kema was very good. Fine. That push can wait. Just Atari here once. Leave the push for 1 point in center as a cotret. Yeah, this descent on the second line is very good. Also playing on the first line in center. Excellent. Both sides. That was pretty big too. R2 and Q2. So white is playing really well in the end game here. Yeah, probably the last large big point to grab. A Kema here in center would be fine too. Oops. Yeah, like this it's okay. So there was no way for black to come back. Here white can play Atari and connect and then accept one push in center by black. Now it's better to play the hanging connection, so when black pushes, just block. If black jumps, this doesn't work because of the push and Atari from behind, Atari again, and capture. Most of the time it's good to connect solid because you don't leave any cotrets, but sometimes it's okay to consider a move like a hanging connection, especially that it blocks on the other side too. So here, for example, black can jump and cover and damage more points. Oh, now actually white can play S9, then throw in Atari from behind, Atari again, and black is not supposed to connect because he loses everything. So black will protect like this, white takes back 2 stones, black captures 1 stone back, and we leave it like this. So that's a better way to protect against the monkey jump in this case. Therefore, black shouldn't play the monkey jump. It's better for black to play the push and then just go down. Or jump like this and then connect. But this will end up gote. So playing the push and block, it's center for black. Now of course white can block in center here and then Atari. Black damage more, but in the end gote. Okay. And this is it. This Atari is no need. Doesn't do anything, looks like a time Suji. 1 more point. So instead of taking the neutral point, black can play here to save 1 point. But it didn't matter much anymore. So I hope you enjoyed the review and play a more spectacular game next time.